So I believe that the book that changes your life is not one you read, it's one that you write. And that if you've got time to read books, you've got time to write books. Now, I know someone who set up an Instagram channel, Instagram account, purely and simply reading and reviewing business books, and couldn't make any money out of it. And I'm sitting there going, you read a business book every single week. What is going on here? Like, how have you not figured this out? It was a bit of an indictment on business books, to be honest. I ended up buying the account for $2,000. Like, it was unbelievable. So it's one that you write. I've never met an author who has not massively enhanced their prospects through having a book. When you give that book out, it builds a relationship, it gets people interested, it gets people engaged. So it's one that you write. Now, here's the only caveat to this. The authors who are making the most money from books, the strategy is very, very clear. Give away 1,000 copies a year. Don't write a book unless you're totally prepared for the next 5 years that you're just going to give away 1,000 of it, next year 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I personally probably give away 5,000 to 10,000 books per year and have done for 10 years. It's the backbone of the operation. It's the backbone of everything. So I want you to go into the book writing thing as, I'm going to use this as a gift. I'm going to give people, I'm going to give away 1,000 copies per year. Gabriella Rosa, this is her standing on top of 4,000 books. She's an interesting story. She's a Harvard awarded scholar. So she went to Harvard. She got this massive award for her work she does in fertility. She ends up writing a book called Fertility Breakthrough. And she writes the book, and she's gone to Harvard and all this sort of stuff. And she's like, I want to sell more books, Dan. What should I do? I said, don't sell them. Give them away. Just print 1,000 copies and give away 1,000 copies. And she's like, oh, but I put so much work into it. I want people to buy it. Anyway, so she gave away 1,000 and about $1 million worth of business came in. She gave away 2,000 and $2 million worth of business came in. So I think she said it in the post. 4,000 books, can't wait to give away. Last year I gave away 2,000 books and I've doubled it this year. So she gave away 1,000, million, 2,000, 2 million, 4,000, 4 million. So for every 1,000 books she gives away, $1 million worth of work comes in. So I've written all of these books I've written while having very young kids. Actually, not true. Entrepreneur Revolution, Key Person of Influence, I was a bachelor, but I've done the revised editions, I've done these ones, I've also done other books that I've written. The way that I'm able to churn out these books, every year, every 2 years, I do a new book. The way I churn them out is I write this exact same formula every single time. Now that I've shown it to you, you're going to go, well, how does he do it? I imagine a reader. I imagine a reader and I go, okay, what's the present situation that they're in? What is the prize that they want? Right? What's the desired outcome? What's the control question? The control question is like for key person of influence, the control question is how do I become more visible, valuable, and connected? For oversubscribed, it's how do I get people lining up to do business with me? So it's purely and simply the control question is, does this paragraph help in some way to answer the control question? And then what do I do? The goal of the introduction is to sell the reader on reading the book. If you read the introduction, it should make you feel like you want to read the whole book. Pretty simple. Disruption, change, immediately shake up the Coke can, right? Get the bubbles going. So it's what are the new ideas that replace the old ideas? How do I disrupt your thinking? Insights, what are 5 to 10 new ideas I want you to be aware of? Method, what's 5 to 10 things I want you to do, in what order? Objections, now that you know the insights and the method, what are your objections to implementation? How would I answer those objections? Call to action, what do I want you to do at the end of the book? And then big finish, inspiration, finish on a high, get you really, finish that book thinking, wow, that was a great book. So all I essentially do is I map out these books in advance and I just go, what are my 5 disruptive ideas? What are my 5 insights? What are my 5 steps? I just go, and then I've got that all on a set of cards and I sit down and I do an hour and a half and I go bang, 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 job done, next point, tomorrow. Add to that house music and coffee, right? Doof, 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 coffee, coffee, right? And I'm smashing out those words. So the point is that there's a process for writing these books. And there's a process for creating a book that's not a textbook. We don't want to create a book that people go, oh, now I've got the textbook on it. We want to create a book that makes people go, oh, now I know what I want to go and do and who I want to work with. So it's a thought leadership book. If you've not done this before, Rethink Press is the publisher that does this. We've got Rethink Press books, and they're really good at getting you to write a thought leadership book that's ready to give 1,000 copies away. That's our process. We want you to be giving 1,000 copies away.